Hey, this is a part 2 of series about planets in astrology. Today's topic will be Mercury, Venus, and Mars, the personal planets. Let's begin with the planet Mercury, or stillborn Arcas Hermes, also known as the messenger of the gods. This planet is the principal ruler of the mind and is known as the planet of the mind, logic, and reason. Mercury rules nerves and nervous system in general. Well placed and well aspected at birth gives a good and well balanced mind, and when weak and afflicted at birth, it can indicate various disorders of the mind and reason development, like poor reasoning powers and bad judgment. Mercury is strongest at birth when in Aries signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, and it is also strong in Virgo. He rules Gemini and Virgo. Gemini is his day sign and Virgo his night sign. And it is said to it is exalted in Virgo but also in Aquarius. Has his detriment in Sagittarius and fall in Pisces. Mercury, especially in the first house or the ascendant, can indicate tall and thin persons. He rules over third and sixth house and is closely associated with the sign of Gemini and Virgo, as these are their houses. Mercury is retrograde 3 or 4 times in a calendar year for about 3 weeks at a time. Now, Mercury stirs the vocal cords in action and rules the air which vibrates them. Also, the vibrations that give sight are originated by Mercury. He also has special affinity to the tongue and speech overall, and any afflictions to him may cause defects of speech like stammering. The aspects and position of Mercury sometimes can indicate physical features. Mercury exerts a dry influence when masculine and moisture when feminine, and it is considered to be variable or irregular planet and partakes largely for the time of the planet or planets with which he is in aspect. For example, when with Saturn, he becomes like Saturn in influence and tends to cause the same things as Saturn does, and it acts like that with every planet. Mercury is called the hermaphrodite planet. It owes this to his dual nature. He may be either masculine or feminine, according to the nature of the planet with which he is aspected or associated for the time or his position. So he's masculine when oriental, eastern of the sun, when in masculine sign, when with a masculine planet, and feminine when occidental, western, when in feminine sign, when with a feminine planet. It is masculine or feminine according to the number of his aspects with masculine or feminine planets and the sign he is in, diurnal or nocturnal, good or evil in influence, lucky or unlucky according to the nature of the planets with which he is aspected. Now, Mercury is considered as being a cold planet, cold in influence, cold and dry when masculine, and cold and moist when feminine. He is dry, earthy, and melancholic planet, also nervous, excitable, quivering, impulsive, egoistical, malefic when with malefics, and benefic when with benefics. In Christianity, it can be connected with the angel Raphael. Now, when he's well aspected and well dignified, he gives a strong and active memory and mind. When afflicted, he tends to cause overwork, sleeplessness, insomnia, restlessness, nervous disorders, and it can indicate lack of spiritual calmness. By some, like Max Heindel, who was an astrologer, occultist, and mystic, Mercury is considered to be a lower octave of Neptune. This can be read in his book Message of the Stars, while by the other authors as the lower octave of the Uranus. Now, Mercury is considered to be friendly with Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn, neutral with Sun and Mars, and in not so friendly terms with the Moon. Metal of Mercury is quicksilver, and his gemstones and crystals are emerald, aventurine, blue lace agate, peridot. It is basically said that green gemstones and crystals are ruled by Mercury. His colors are blue mixed with gray, lemon yellow, orange, and violet. It can show relatives, usually from the mother's side, and it is also indicator of short journeys. His day is Wednesday. Plants that can be associated with Mercury are fern, lavender, ginkgo, licorice, gotu-kola, to name a few. Some of the foods are dill, carrots, fenugreek, parsley, so on. It is connected with the ground of Earth elemental vibration. Now moving on to Venus. In old times and in Old English, this planet was known as the Morgenstora or morning star and Effenstora or evening star. In Siberia, it was the only planet to have a name, and it was called either, I don't know exactly how to pronounce this, Kolbon or Sholbon. To the Greeks, she was Aphrodite, to the Egyptians, the goddess Isis, and to Phoenicians, the goddess Astarte. To the Chinese, the planet was the Great White One. To the Maya, Venus was the god of war. In Babylon, she was considered to be a star in trinity with sun and the moon. At one time, she was seen as the great goddess who gave birth to the sun, but also as a Lucifer, the light-bearing attendant to the sun. It is called like this when she is seen long before rising of the sun. The Saxons used the name of their fertility goddess Freya, which led to the English name of Friday, a day connected with Venus. She is connected with water elemental vibration and moist and warm by nature. Her metals and gemstones are copper, diamonds, opal, white sapphire, and white topaz. Her colors are blue, blue to green, indigo, purple, white, and yellow. She is connected with the angel Anael. Venus is a benefic and fortunate planet called the Lesser Fortune. This planet is feminine, fruitful, passive, negative, benign, nocturnal, and rules the signs Taurus and Libra. So she's strongest in Taurus and Libra, as these signs are her home. Her exaltation is in Pisces, her fall is in Virgo, and her detriment in Aries and in Scorpio, signs opposite to her home signs. Her houses are second and seventh house, the houses corresponding to Taurus and Libra, second and the seventh sign. The action of Venus is not rapid or fast. It is also of rotational or vortex motion. She is usually retrograde for 42 days a year. Her good aspects with the planets give great benefit to the health, also enriches and ennobles the mind, brings love and harmony and good fortune. It is said that Venus afflicts one natal chart only by square or opposition aspects. She is friendly to Saturn, Mercury, and Mars, although some ancient writers say that she is in friendly terms with everyone except Saturn, and Mars can be considered neutral for Venus. Mars rules strongly over the passions and helps Venus in forming alliances. So good aspects between Mars and Venus could indicate higher and truer form of love, while conjunctions, oppositions, and square can tend to lower forms of love, like excess of passion. Physically, Venus can give a lighter hair and light complexion. She is especially identified with the ovaries in the females. When located in the first house or the ascendant, it can give dimples in the cheeks. The influence of Venus is to bring and establish rhythm and harmony in the system, in whatever sign or house found in a natal chart. Max Heindel says that Uranus is the higher octave of Venus, while others say Neptune is. Uranus with Venus, when working together in their higher vibration, can indicate love of metaphysical truth and great knowledge. The Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus are classed as psychological planets, and Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn are pathological, and this is usually connected to medical astrology. The general physiological actions of Venus are fermentation, nutrition, and expansion or multiplication. Venus is also connected with the sugary foods, sweets. And Mars will be the last one for today. Mars, the red planet, also known as the god of war. Ancients used to call him Mavors, Ares, Gradivus, Pyrois, god of the wandering star, Aster Planetos. He finishes his course in the zodiac in 1 year and 321 days. He is retrograde for 80 days in a year. When in perigee, he appears like a flame or bright spot in the sky. It is generally observed that at this time the weather is warmer than usual for the season, particularly if Mars happens to be in aspect with Jupiter. Mars has a special place in astrological literature. It is possibly the most written about planet, and has more to do with human concerns than any other planet, and can create more disturbances in human affairs by his afflictions than other planets. But Mars also has a good and powerful influence, and along with the Sun is constructive, gives energy, heat, and force to the body, as well as courage. His angel is Samael. Now, in astrology, Mars is known as the lesser in fortune and is considered to be a malefic planet. Some consider Mars should be the greater in fortune, which is attributed to Saturn, because damage and destructive powers of Mars are almost unparalleled when he is afflicting one's natal chart. The action of Mars is acute and violent. It is hot, dry, and barren, inflammatory, and corresponds to pungent odors, hot acids, and burning toners or astringents. His action is also centrifugal from the center out, causes redness of the surface and congestion. Mars is energetic, dynamic, positive, sudden, and intense. He tends to action and to make people assertive and to do and say what they think and believe. Mars, by reflecting the solar forces, gives dynamic power, active, hasty, and intensive life. And without his influences at birth, people would be very timid, weak, without courage. Physically, Mars people are of middle stature with strong bodies, lean with little fat, and usually they have sharp eyes. It is also associated with the left ear. Mars is ruler of Aries and Scorpio. He is strong in these signs and also in Capricorn, as this is his exaltation sign. His fall is in Cancer and his detriment is in Libra and in Taurus, according to classical teachings. Aries is his day sign and Scorpio is the night sign of Mars. Houses of Mars are 1st and 8th, as they correspond to Aries and Scorpio sign, and he is strong when placed in 1st and 10th house at birth. Force of Mars can be very constructive when properly harnessed and controlled, but destructive when allowed to run wild. He denotes high blood pressure, swellings, rapid fevers, and sharp pains. Now, classical teachings say that Mars is not friendly to any other planet, as he is violent, very blunt, quarrelsome, and unfriendly. But Venus is considered his friend, and Sun, Moon, Jupiter, and Saturn are considered neutrals, while Mercury is seen as an enemy. His color is red and crimson color, which is a deep, rich red inclining to purple. His metal is iron and iron products like steel. Minerals are trap rock, cinnabar, coral, red jasper, cornelian, to name a few. Mars gives choleric temperament, offers drive and motivation. Foods associated with Mars are highly seasoned foods and condiments. Some of the plants we can connect with Mars are basil, garlic, camphor, cinnamon, ginger, nettle, onions, and chestnut. His day is Tuesday. And with that, I will finish today's video. In a couple of days, I will be coming back with a part 3, which is Jupiter and Saturn in astrology. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, leave a comment, positive or constructive. And yeah, that's it. Bye.